Hello, I'm James. I'm standing in front of an office complex on Niagara Street in Buffalo's West Side neighborhood. This complex houses a community mental health center which accepts Medicaid, vital in a neighborhood where the poverty rate is 47%. The building is owned by the 6293 group and was valued at $800,000, including the cost of land in the last tax assessment. $800,000 sounds like a lot because you're poor. To see some really expensive real estate, look across Niagara Street. The mixed-use building on the left has 3 stories of apartments above a candy store. In front, Niagara Street becomes a complete street, meaning it has a protected bike lane which continues south towards the Peace Bridge along Bastille Avenue. The top-story apartments have a view of the Niagara River, albeit across an interstate highway. The building is owned by the 9271 group and is worth $5.3 million. This LLC owns additional land and houses, putting its holdings at about $15.5 million. With that context, we're now ready to look at the rest of the 6293 group's assets, namely vacant land. $5,000 is a decent price for an empty lot in Buffalo, where the median price of an empty parcel is $2,200. There are about 5,000 vacant parcels in Buffalo, assessed at under $2,000, so in theory you could buy yourself an acre for the price of a new car. Before making specific claims, however, always do a little more research, like this strip of cheap land owned by the city. In reality, it turned out the city has retained ownership of a narrow strip of land in order to keep these houses from having to clear 2 sidewalks. This parcel here was valued at $11,000, and this one here is worth $14,000, both well above the city median. In part, this is due to improvements, namely this shed, but it's also due to location, near a dense residential neighborhood, as well as certain amenities, including transit access. I was unsure whether I was going to cut this person out of the video. Since I saved some time by walking and talking, I can cut to the big reveal instead of giving you the vacant land spiel. In a minute, we will see the last vacant parcel in the area owned by the 6293 group. It's worth a shocking $90,000. Then the big reveal comes. Both LLCs are of course owned by Carl Palladino. If you know one thing about Carl Palladino, it's that he's racist. That's easy because it seems to make it his personal brand. Palladino was at one point a member of the Buffalo School Board and used his place in government to make racist comments to his co-workers and to circulate pornography. While he was thrown out of the office by community activists in 2017, he bounced back, praising Adolf Hitler on the radio in 2021 and failing to enter Congress this year. If you know a second thing about Carl Palladino, it's that he's rich. Obviously, since losing so many elections is expensive. Jeff Kelly reports that Carl's election disclosures indicate personal assets of $86 million, at least, and $4.5 million in annual income, so I guess threatening a fascist takeover is just an expensive hobby for the guy. Anyway, here I am giving an impassioned, semi-improvised speech I kind of hate. I'm going to cover my shame with an aerial picture of this area and ask a question. What happens if Carl decides this office complex and parking lot should actually be a giant luxury apartment complex? It would definitely make him richer. I'm running out of time to speculate on what he might do, but it scares me that this is the kind of guy making such important land use decisions. There are 2 points to this video. The first is that old Marxist move of demystification. You probably don't think about the extent of Palladino's influence when you walk past a random fence, but maybe you should. I encourage you to check out my web map, carlmania.infinityfreeapp.com. You can click and drag the map, you can investigate individual properties, and you can see pictures of Carl's big ugly face. The second point is to say that there's something viscerally annoying when someone refuses to shovel their sidewalks. It's so selfish and dangerous. Then you wonder if they're old or disabled or overworked and underpaid. Maybe there's a reason. But when you see a vacant lot, remember that that lot is often owned by a developer. For developers, there is no excuse. For $4.5 million a year, Palladino can hire a guy to do his sidewalks. So understand this final question as rhetorical. Carl Palladino, why can't you shovel your damn sidewalks?